Good afternoon, good morning. On behalf of Operation Rock, happy Mother's Day. This is our Mother's Day episode into justice and civil rights. Excuse me for 1 minute. I'm just getting myself together. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. This is probably the first Mother's Day I've had without my mother. People that I feel pretty good. Life is good. There's no complaints. Um, God bless everyone who does have their mother with them still. A mother is truly a jewel. And if you have yours today, take every opportunity you can to celebrate her for what she gave you, which is life. If she gave you more than life, which is a brain, which is something to, I would say, take forward once she is gone, whether it be mannerisms, character, anything it might be. Today, if you have a living mother, by all means, do everything in your power to appreciate that woman. It is something I definitely wish I could partake in today. Today, in honor of my mother, I choose to have this broadcast because my broadcast and my new mission has become something that my mother was very passionate about, which is the rights and the liberties afforded to minorities within urban communities like where I'm from, Staten Island, New York. For anybody who has not been following my unfortunate situation, I am unfortunately an active victim of domestic violence. As I have been stalked, lied on, harassed, and horribly defamed and slandered by an ex girlfriend of mine for the most petty reasons, people. But life, things happen in life for a reason. You can't really be mad at them, people. You have to learn to embrace the things that happen to you because the truth is, people, they are the things that make you a better person. And I believe, honestly, a lot of this happened to me to make me the person that I always was supposed to be. So, again, people, as much as I may have said this before, today I can say with great confidence, I am incredibly grateful to my offender and the people who have tried to hurt me because it's only in them hurting me that I realized that I needed to become a different person, which I am. So I have been advocating for against domestic violence for 2.5 years. I've had an ex-girlfriend who's been stalking the hell out of me, people, like many of you know, and I've been fighting. I've been fighting the good fight. But you can only fight the good fight so long. In any event, I was denied justice when I'm gonna be honest, people. You can't only a only a hater doesn't respect when someone does something that he himself would have done and it would have been commendable. My offender was completely acquitted of robbing me and stealing from me, which is amazing considering there was audio, text message, and virtual undeniable proof that she did it. How did my offender get acquitted? Today is the day I'm going to tell this story. And I'm not telling this story because I have anything bad to say about my offender. The truth is, I commend my offender because she was able to manipulate the situation to get herself out of criminal trouble. And people, that's the objective. The objective is to do whatever it is in your means to free yourself of the criminal charge. Even if you're guilty, nobody wants to willingly take a criminal charge. Your whole objective is to try to find a way out of it. And this woman did it. So I respect it. But I don't respect what the prosecutors did. And that's why today I'm going to take the liberty to show some things to prove that my offender, the skillful and intelligent black woman she is, completely manipulated law enforcement into acquitting her due to bigotry, racism, and personal feelings of revenge. So, the first thing I'm going to show is an email. And this email is from the attorney of my offender. Now, you may know that several parts are redacted. People with knowledge is power. And now that I am becoming so knowledgeable of the law, I do realize that showing emails and full names is a violation of someone's privacy. So, with respect to that, you will now see me show emails where I'll redact email addresses and names, etc., from this point forward to protect the privacy, the full privacy of the people involved, like their email addresses, so they don't get emails from crazy people calling them pieces of shit because I'm exposing them to be pieces of shit. That's not my intent. My intent is to show the corruption that actually happened to me when this happened. So we're going to begin with this email right before us. This email is an email sent. Let's see the date. March 26th. March 26th is 6 days after the first day of trial of Francina Evans. This email was sent by her attorney, Cynthia Hardaway. Now, my audience may remember that I highlighted several episodes where I was showing an audience that my offender created an entire YouTube channel where she was using AI tools to falsely portray me as a diagnosed schizophrenic and a psychopath. Now, this woman did this with the intent to hurt me. Her whole intention behind doing this was to falsely manipulate the public into believing that I had been harassing her and doing things to her. Now, the truth of the matter is, people, I hadn't done anything to this woman but try to stay away from her. But people, when people want to hurt you, they don't care about nothing. So this is the channel that this woman made. Cop Caller Clay, a completely fictitious channel where she uses AI to change my voice. She adds her own subtitles. She edits and clips a single video into multiple videos. People, there are over 330 videos on this website. There are 330 videos about me that this woman has taken the time to clip, edit, and add digital detailing and everything into subtitles just to get even with me. I make speeches speaking about the wrongs she does. I don't make them and chop them into things with her image. I don't put donkeys and clown heads on her. I don't do any of that. I tell the truth. This woman goes to insult me. She steals my deceased mother's domestic violence records and accuses me of beating my mother because I happen to share the same name as the man who sired me. I don't actually call him my father. She goes and she steals the man who sired me mental records so she could falsely betray me to have the condition he had. Now, I'm telling people all of this and no one believes me, but people, now we're going to go here. This is an email from the attorney of Francina Evans, Cynthia Hardaway. And this email is to the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I, as a victim, was completely locked out of the prosecution of Francina Evans for the fictitious page you just saw, because a racist prosecutor, believing that she had been insulted and threatened based off a fictitious page that she was already aware of a week and a half before this email was ever sent, used this excuse with Francina's attorney to purposely throw her prosecution, lock me out, and withhold inculpatory evidence that would have convicted Francina, like the audio of her admitting the dog was mine and the family was filing false reports, like the text messages where she directly tells me that if I don't return the dog, if I don't surrender the company, that I would not get the dog back, and all of the other proofs from Brenton Evans and her family that she was lying on me. Laura Owens, her lying mother and her lying grandmother, who has filed multiple false police reports on me in numerous jurisdictions, which the Essex County Prosecutor's Office knew, also was allowed to testify. So was Brenton Evans, the same brother who you hear on tape calling Francina a liar and an embarrassment, was allowed to testify. The evidence against these people to challenge their credibility is called impeachment testimony. And the prosecutor's office had impeachment testimony to, I would say, counteract the claims of the Evans family, who was clearly lying to benefit Francina. But the prosecution, this woman, withheld all of this because she was mad about the valid complaints I was making of misconduct against her, and the complaints I was making that the office was failing to protect my rights as the victim by allowing Francina to continue to file fictitious litigation on me, which is the truth. See, people, the only reason this has extended so long is two reasons. It's not just the police, it's the prosecutors. See, the police have a responsibility to take the reports, but the prosecutors are like the quarterbacks who take the running backs, who take the handoff from the police. People, it's all a system. The cops arrest you, they pass you off to the prosecutors pass you off to the judge either lets you go home or the judge sends you back, period. That's how it works. So the cops file reports and they send them to the prosecutors. But people, every complaint filed against Francina Evans in Newark, New Jersey has been frozen in the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. Or the one complaint that was actually, I would say, tried for third-party contact was dismissed, even though there was solid evidence that the person who contacted me had no legal authorization to contact me. The office of the prosecutor manipulated this. Ladies and gentlemen, there's another process in all states called a superseding indictment, which means an indictment can be added to if new offenses committed by an offender happen to come across that are of a similar nature, to the same victim, which is the case between myself and Francina Evans. Again, people, this prosecutor, who is a pathological liar, held all of this from me. Now, about, I would say, October last year, people, tired of being robbed by attorneys, I decided to pay $1,000 to a course that taught me the law, which is paralegal skills, how to do legal research. It taught me how to file motions. It taught me how to file petitions. It gave me a general understanding of how to combat the legal system so I could kind of save some money, because people, I was going broke paying attorneys. In the process of doing that, I learned how to subpoena the police departments and contact these people to legally get the information they withheld from me with a phone call. So I started uncovering corruption, how the prosecutors were withholding Francina's active investigations. This is why she wasn't being detained. So people, I started complaining. I started contacting the attorney general. I started contacting the supervisor of this prosecutor who's mentioned in this email. I started trying to contact her, speak to her, letting her know through written communication, respectful communication, that I now understood the law and I knew what she was supposed to do, that she was neglecting in her responsibilities to do it. But people, racist white people don't like intelligent, uppity niggas. And the fact that I had this knowledge now, that's what this racist woman started to believe. Like, who does this nigga think he's telling about the law? I'm a lawyer, but people, I was right about what I was saying. This woman just didn't like it. So what you see before you is an email from the attorney of Francina Evans. I am forwarding these videos from yesterday wherein your alleged victim is now going after Miss Ventola, calling her a racist, white, fat bitch. Mr. Howard is becoming more angry, violent in his speech, and unhinged. At this point, I am concerned about everybody's safety, including Miss Ventola. The fact that he puts this all on public forum demonstrates he is not concerned too much about the consequences, because people, there are no consequences. There's something called the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. So if I see corruption, if I see things going on legally, the First Amendment protects my right to make it public, to expose the people who are doing things behind the scenes to violate my rights, like this attorney, like Francina Evans, and like the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, who allowed a prosecutor to use her personal opinion to deny me justice and falsify and completely sabotage my prosecution. That is what happened between myself and Francina Evans. People, Francina Evans was not acquitted by innocence. She was acquitted through corruption in the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. Corruption sits next to this girl like grease sits next to chicken on the stove, people. She's a complete scumbag. And people, I'm going to expose this, which is my constitutional right as a victim who has been violated, to speak and to villainize the people who have become villains in my life. These people are the people I'm mentioning today. The people who falsified evidence, who knew that the YouTube page being mentioned in this video was not mine. But guess what, people? They didn't care because a black man called a white woman a fat racist bitch, even though she was being a racist and being a bitch. People, this is why Francina Evans got off. So we're going to continue. My client also tells me Mr. Howard may have a documented mental disorder for which he receives SSI. Now, people, the truth was, as I have said, those were the medical records of my father, Francina Stoll, that I made the Essex County Prosecutor's Office aware of, that she had been using to falsely diagnose me as a schizophrenic. People, all of that was overlooked by the Essex County Prosecutor's Office. What they did was lock me out of a prosecution and acquit Francina because they were mad I called a woman who was genuinely fat, racist, and a bitch. So to prove that, the page that was seen was this. Look, now here you see Francina Evans, people. If everyone can see that, that's her. She forwarded the email to her attorney, who forwarded the email to the prosecutor handling my case, a deputy prosecutor, the police department, and the court, and the judge, people. This is where this email with the fake page of Francina, where she created AI, people, here it goes. Cop caller Clay. Let's go back, people. Here, cop caller Clay. What's the name of this page, people? Cop caller Clay, man files 3 felonies, 3 restraining order, 2 ACS cases against mother of his child and ex in order to repossess a dog gifted to her in hopes of repairing a relationship and to avoid paying child support. People, this is the fraudulent, hateful page created by Francina Evans to lie on me, people. That's all she did. That's all she did, people, was lie on me like the lying piece of crap this girl actually is. So let's go back. See, people? Let's go. Oh, did she remove the diagnosed schizophrenic thing? Oh, she must have took that one down, people, because she knows that I've known now that she lied. Oh, no, here it goes, people. Here goes the diagnosed schizophrenic. Here it goes, people. Now, let's look at this, if we can see it, because I want to blow it up so everybody sees it. Because, people, again, this was the amount of corruption that robbed Clayton Howard of his justice. It was this. So let's scroll down. Now, as you can see, diagnosed schizophrenic, Social Security, SSI, yes, for schizophrenia. Now, people, the truth is, this is my father, and it's an embarrassing thing to have to admit. But unfortunately, I have to admit it, because if I don't admit it, my offender will keep trying to use it to lie on me. So let's go back, people. Basically, because of this lying page created by my offender, a lying racist prosecutor falsified evidence and completely locked me out of my prosecution and let Francina off. People, it's the same page as cop caller Clay. Everybody can see that. And here is the now see, the difference is that this attorney actually lied. And I want to go back to YouTube. The attorney who did this to me tried to file what's called a VESPA order against me, basically stating that me calling her a fat racist bitch for violating my rights was cyber harassment. Now, people, the woman is such a liar. She goes to court, and what she does is she tries to use Operation Rocks page, which I'm going to show you now. She tries to use Operation Rocks page to say that she became aware of these videos through Operation Rock. Now, people, you can clearly see that the home page of Operation Rock, the homepage of Operation Rock is completely different than that of Cop Caller Clay. Let's go back to Cop Caller Clay. People, these homepages are completely different. But this lying prosecutor from the prosecutor's office went into a court and lied and told a judge that because she saw Operation Rock's page, she thought I was threatening her. When the truth is, the email from Francina's attorney dated March 26, 2024, is what happened. So the prosecutor actually lied under oath just to get revenge on me, people. That's how sick this entire process is with injustice. The First Amendment protects your right to freedom of speech, ladies and gentlemen, and your liberties to do so. When people don't like what you say because it's offensive, or it's hurtful, or it's truthful, that it can damage their reputation, it may put their career aspirations or their current position on display and at jeopardy. That may be a problem. It may give people concern for their future, a concern for their livelihood, and it may make them afraid. But people, honestly, what happens to a criminal who gets caught robbing a bank when the cops catch him? You don't think that he's afraid to go to jail because now he can't make money? It's the same concept, people. It's the same concept when someone in a political position violates constitutional or state law and offends somebody and breaks the law. It's the same thing. Of course, they're going to be afraid that the person speaking about what they did is going to expose them and destroy their life, because they have a life that's based on their current position. And to have violated that position, so that position is possibly being in danger, anybody's going to be afraid. But does that give that person the right to file false charges on you and harass you for speaking your mind? No, it doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. No one has the right to file false charges on you for speaking your mind about things that they've actually done to you. The woman who is raped by the man can't go file charges on the woman when he rapes her, when the rape kit proves he raped her. He can't do that. The man who robbed the person who robbed someone at gunpoint, who's caught on camera, can't go get arrested for robbing that person in New York and then travel across to the state of New Jersey and say the person lied on him and be arrested. People, it doesn't work like that. In my situation, because I'm a black man and the rights of black men are not respected, that's exactly what happened. A woman I used to date got convicted in one place, went across the bridge, talked to the right white people, blamed the black man. They saw he had a criminal record. They didn't give a damn that the man had rights, and they arrested him. People, the same thing happened in Essex County, New Jersey, when a prosecutor, upset at the fact that I could validly and adequately explain and display the misconduct and the violations to my constitutional rights she had actually committed, became afraid because I was going to file complaints against her. So what did she do? She falsified an email sent by the offender of an active prosecution where the offender had used AI to totally manipulate and change content created by her victim to lie and say that this victim was sabotaging her and harassing her and lock him out of a prosecution in violation of the state of New Jersey's Victim Rights Bill, which says that the victim of an active prosecution is supposed to be included in that prosecution unless it's prior to testimony. When the witness's statement and identity need to be protected, they are legally supposed to be allowed to participate in every session of the prosecution. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, I was denied. I was lied to. I was never told when it was going to happen. I wasn't even told that the prosecutor had been changed, like I had been asking for 6 months prior to the trial of my offender. Now, we all want to know why this would still be going on. But people, the biggest truth of this is that it's racism and bigotry. Racism and bigotry is why a black man who won the right to be left alone is still talking about this 2.5 years later. It's not just me talking, people. People, I came out of court with this woman 2 weeks ago because she filed another motion to try to have the order dismissed using the same fictitious or information that I have exposed to be information she stole regarding my parents. People, now the court knows this definitively, but you know what? They're making me go through the reconsideration process because they're saying legally she has the right to do this. Now, an important thing to note is that what happens when you fill out an affidavit or a petition? Rules of court say that a person who fills out an affidavit or a statement attests to that statement to be true in their knowledge and capacity. Now, my offender has filed multiple statements on me that I have proved definitively in court that were baseless and that she knew to be the exact opposite of what she was saying. But because racism and bigotry and sexism is so strong in law enforcement and domestic violence people, the court refuses to charge it as a woman that it has cited 11 times on the record to have lied with lying on the record, which is perjury. No, people, every time my offender lies on the record, the judge says, well, we didn't take that too much to heart. What the fuck are you, excuse me, what are you talking about? When you put your right hand up and you make a testament in court, my name is Bly, and I swear to tell the whole truth, the partial truth, and nothing but the whole truth. What do you know what they ask you to say? I can't remember right now. But when you put your right hand up, people, that is you swearing to tell the truth. So if you testify in court that someone's a diagnosed schizophrenic, and you know that person's not a diagnosed schizophrenic because you stole medical records, people, you just lied under oath. People, if you go into court and tell somebody they tell a judge that your ex-boyfriend murdered his mother, when you know his mother died of COVID-related complications because you were there before him, people, you just lied under oath. People, when you go into a court and you lie and tell a judge that you are being abused with excessive litigation because your ex won an order of protection, but you can't show one police report filed within 90 days against you. And in reverse, the ex can show several you have filed against them. People, you just lied to the court. How many times is an offender allowed to lie to a court before justice is truly served? That is the biggest question here. So, people, on behalf of Justice in Operation Rock, we continue to expose prosecutorial misconduct by explaining how a true victim was robbed justice by a corrupt and biased law enforcement system. I was robbed my conviction of my offender because of a racist prosecutor who I know is a racist, who I know is a pathological liar, and who I know is completely unethical, more so now than ever, decided to lock me out of a prosecution in conjunction with her biased and unethical office. I choose to exercise my First Amendment rights to continue to speak about that because that is serious. If this prosecutor could lie this bad in a family court case, people, imagine all the innocent minorities and people this woman has falsified to have locked up. She should definitely be looked to. Her prosecution should be questioned because, people, this woman is a pathological liar. No attorney should walk into a court and lie this bad knowing that it can be proven that they're lying. But God is good, people, and things happen for a reason. Again, I'm not even angry that my offender got off. I'm actually quite proud of her because if she was able to manipulate these dumbass people into doing this, she just increased the check I'm going to get. Because again, like I just showed you, people, I can show you. I just showed you that the channel this woman used to block me out of a prosecution and bring me to court was not even mine. But she lied to the court and told the court that the channel was mine, even though the emails from the attorney she states on the record made her aware of the channel is the channel of the defendant of the trial. It's not even mine. So, people, we are thankful for that. We patiently acquire knowledge. We become stronger in honor of our late mother, who was about knowledge and who was about justice and who was about empowering the rights of people so that they knew their rights, so that racism and bigotry could not control their lives like it has done for me for so long. I say today with great testament that this woman would be very proud of me. I have become incredibly knowledgeable, and people, this is why law enforcement hate me, because the knowledge of the things I'm saying is the truth, and it embarrasses state prosecutors who were sworn to uphold an ethical responsibility, who have failed to do so through racism and bigotry. Nobody told these people to do this. Nobody told these people to violate the rights of an innocent black man for a lying little black girl, but they did that because they thought it was socially acceptable. And people, I'm here to tell them it's not. It's not right to violate the rights of any minority, especially this one. So on behalf of Justice in Operation Rock this Mother's Day, people, mothers out there, encourage your sons to read and become better if they aren't already. There are some of you out there who have done the right thing, like my great mother tried to do for me and encouraged me, this in me years ago, people. But, I wasn't there. So sometimes your children have to walk the journey that they're going to walk to become the people they are ultimately going to be. Like, share, and follow, people. Again, happy Mother's Day. Love your mother, respect your mother, and the world will be a greater place. Again, people, thank you for watching.